video is a message for Pete Hegseth from the wife of an active duty service member. Have you forgotten who you work for? Not who has the power to hire and fire you. To be clear, we all understand that you serve at the pleasure of the President of the United States. But that isn't who you work for. It isn't who you serve. As a public servant, just like the many much more qualified public servants who came before you, you work for the American people. Even more specifically, as Secretary of Defense, you are meant to serve the men and women who serve under you. That's what actual leadership looks like, by the way, something that you clearly know nothing about. You've made it very clear through your behavior that you don't give a single flying about the safety of service members. You only care about your own reputation and your own safety. Hell, the professionals working at the Pentagon, including many Trump loyalists, have been practically screaming from the rooftops just how incompetent, stupid, and selfish you really are. Unfortunately, the commander-in-chief is the one and only man in government right now who is somehow even dumber and more selfish than you are, so their dire warnings have sadly gone unheeded. But your selfishness is on full display with your recent demand that journalists covering the Pentagon sign what amounts to a loyalty pledge to you. But there's just one small problem with that, Pete. Those journalists, unlike you, have not forgotten who they work for. They remember that their loyalty is to the American people and, even more importantly, to the truth. In fact, your demand that they sign this pledge is so egregious and so anti-American that outlets on both sides of the aisle have told you to sit and spin on that stupid pledge of yours. Hell, even Fox News and Newsmax told you to shove it. And speaking as the wife of one of the deployed service members that you put in danger when you texted classified details about impending airstrikes, I want to make it very clear to you, Pete, that we see what you are doing right now. And even more importantly, we see why you are doing it. Because again, I know you don't give a flying about my husband's life or the lives of any of the other countless service members you have already endangered. You are doing this to prevent the American people from finding out about your inevitable future ups where you endanger service members' lives. Because even you are self-aware enough to know that those ups are coming. How couldn't they be, after all, when you are a barely functioning alcoholic? You've kept yourself so pickled in a bottle of cheap whiskey that you've managed to ruin not one, but 2 marriages in a row by repeatedly stumbling into the beds of other women, including at least one woman who has made it very clear that the act was not consensual on her part. Although, to be fair to wife number 3, Jennifer, the one that's still by your side, it wasn't just your affair with her that ruined your second marriage. It was also your predilection for drunkenly beating wife number 2. And look, I get that your behavior over the years has indicated that you have no real concern for the safety of your own family. Abusers usually don't. But you need to understand that that is not how other military families view our service member. We love them, and we will hold anyone accountable who puts them in unnecessary danger out of sheer incompetence or narcissism or whatever the is wrong with you, Pete. So yeah, you may have been able to temporarily clear the Pentagon of the journalists who were doing their jobs and not just acting as your personal propaganda arm. But do not think for a single second that you will be able to hide your misdeeds forever. We will find out. And we will hold you accountable. And Daddy Trump won't be able to protect you from the consequences of your own actions forever.